And what up, everybody? Welcome back to Furl Publications YouTube channel. This channel talk about zines and DIY publishing. As you guys can see, and for those of you guys that have mailed things into me, I'm in a city called Sonora in California. It's in between two fires at the moment. They've evacuated everyone on the other side of the street, and we're on standby because we might be evacuated any minute. And today I want to talk about kind of how like you can find the humor or the way my mind works, I guess, as a creative and just living my life, and how just my day-to-day life gives me these ideas, because I genuinely attained an idea for a script that I'm going to start working on. And I want to talk about kind of the premise and the 3-act structure and how it kind of grew organically from my life. And it kind of pans out because even like today, dealing with like the evacuation, and I didn't get evacuated, but basically my car almost had no gas. Life lesson that I just learned today of like, always keep your tank full. So even though we didn't get evacuated, we had to go get gas, and we thought it best and safe to take our 2 puppies and 6 cats because we didn't want to go out to get gas and then not be allowed back in to get our, our loved ones, our furry ones. So with that, we took them all with us to go get gas, and that shit was a mission. But something like that is kind of like the stuff that's just fodder for me to work on and to chew on, because it's this very like unique human experience. I don't think a lot of people have had to like evacuate their homes due to fire, or had to deal with kind of like the pandemonium that occurs when that happens. And it's crazy because like, horses get left behind and all kinds of crazy shit out here. So it's crazy, man. It's a weird, it's definitely, like I said, a very unique human experience that I wouldn't mind having documented, but that's just not how my mind works. The point of today was I want to talk about an interview that I had recently. The homie Swayze Crazy put this comment, and he was absolutely right. I shaved for a reason. You guys know I always rock my beard, but I shaved it for a reason. I had a job interview, and this was by far the funnest and the weirdest job interview I've ever done. Definitely, without a doubt. It became more a debate between me and I guess who would have been my boss's boss, about how to operate a business, just period, and then how to operate a business during a pandemic. And we definitely didn't see eye to eye on shit. I was actually very, very surprised when I got the hire letter, and I rejected it. I didn't want to work with someone like that or for someone like that. And one of the main things he kept telling me was, because one of the things we were debating was my pay, and I know I was worth way more than what they're offering me. And I explained that to him, and very calmly showed him why. And he was like, well, you know how it is, small businesses, this, that. And first of all, I'm like, you're not a small business. You have 43 establishments. You're not small, period. I don't give a fuck. Secondly, I explained to him that I didn't agree with that. Even when I had my small business of Dirt Dog, I didn't agree with that. And he said, he called bullshit. He said, I don't believe that. And I said, well, I can prove it, because we live in a digital era where things exist in the digital arena and are timestamped for you. And so I showed him this clip.
For one thing, we don't pay minimum wage. We don't believe in minimum wage. Minimum wage to us sounds like if I could pay you less, I would. If I can run this, like a sweatshop factory, this would be a sweatshop factory. And so to begin with, we're countering that.
This motherfucker's face dropped. Hella dropped, had a hella sour face, was upset about, I don't know what, because I didn't have nothing to do with the fucking reason why he was upset. But he seemed mad and upset that I was able to disprove him, calling me a liar, basically. And, like, for me personally, like I said, like, I knew right after the interview, like, I was like, I ain't feeling that guy, that job. Even if they meet me halfway with the pay, like, I'm like, nah, like, because someone that thinks like that, they're gonna think like you owe them, and so they're gonna hound you and they're gonna ride the shit out of you. And I'm not in the mood for that shit. But for me, I was like, this is a perfect movie. and it's a doable movie as a DIY filmmaker, is perfect, right? It would be Act 1, me getting ready for the interview, homeboy getting ready for the interview. Act 2, the actual fucking interview, right? Act 3, homeboy discussing it with whoever he discussed whether or not they want to hire me amongst themselves, right? And me discussing with my wife, loved one, or whatever character has, right? Whoever the character has, discussing with it whether or not he should take the job once he gets the hire letter. And then the conclusion of it, which would have been basically this. So remember, you guys, some of these like unique human interactions, they are so much, they have so much amazing potential for a great story. Things that are just interesting to people, right? Because during that interview with this fella, it genuinely felt like a dinosaur of the old business models talking to kind of the new generation business model. Like some of the stuff we discussed are so fucking relevant to today. One of the things we were talking about is how to deal with the worker shortage. And I told him there is no worker shortage. What there is a shortage of good jobs, jobs that add value to people's lives, whether that be economically or emotionally, spiritually, or mentally. Now, if your company is not adding at least one of these benefits, if not all these benefits, to their employees, that's why you're going to have a shortage of workers. He kind of tried to give me that bullshit of like nobody wants to work. And it's like everybody wants to work, but they want to work with dignity, and they want to work a 40-hour work week and be able to pay for their family's expenses. Not having to work 40-hour work weeks and still be dead fucking broke at the end of that week. And this guy just didn't get it, man. And like, and for me, that was such an interesting conversation because like almost everything that he thought I would agree with, I was like, fuck no, I don't agree with you for shit. And I think that time has shown that like, yeah, that old model may have worked once upon a time, but it doesn't work now. And especially now with the pandemic, it works even less. Like people aren't willing to put up with nonsense and bullshit because like there's still this overarching like understanding that like you could die, we could die, and to get paid $14, $15 an hour, or whatever people, like this guy was telling me like, oh, these guys don't want to work for their $14, $15. Is like, no, bro, they don't want to work for you and your fucking bad attitude. And they don't want to probably work for your customers and their fucking bad attitude for 14, $15. And that's the facts. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. Sorry about this shaky handheld fucking stuff, but like I packed up a bunch of shit just in case we have to bounce. And one of the things that I'm taking with me, because you can't take everything, but I took like my big ass duffel bag full of, filming gear. And so my tripod's in there. So I'm handheld for today. But beyond that, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Lates.